you guys like video games? Do all of us, most of us? My favorite one is Super Mario, just because I was raised with that one. So, what are the tools that you need to play video games? And I have some of the ones I could think of, I have them here, but you guys might know of many more. So you obviously need a game console, right? Some sort. You have a Switch, you have a PlayStation, you could do a tablet. We also need controllers, right? What do we play with? Controllers. You need games, whether you buy them physically or you buy them online. We also need maybe a gaming chair, right? And maybe a headset if you're talking to your friends. Are there any other things that we need to play video games? A what? What is that? Oh, okay. If you get hungry, maybe snacks. Right? So these are the things we need, or the tools that we need, right, to play video games. Something that we enjoy. Now, when it comes to school, we need to write. We need to write paragraphs. Sometimes they ask us to write essays. So for writing, we also have tools. So what are the tools for writing? The RACE strategy, right? You guys have learned about the RACE strategy before. So just like we need those tools to play video games, we also need tools to write, to help us write. Because if we could write 10,000 sentences, but do they make sense? Do they answer the question? Do they really bring our thoughts into the paper, right? To try to answer the question. So RACE. What does the R stand for?
Restate the question.
Restate the question, right? Sometimes this is a hard one for us, I have noticed. So, for example, I have a question here. Why is it important to drink enough water? So how would we make a statement? We don't want to put the answer again. We don't want to put the question in our paragraph. So we want to put a statement. So we would switch it up. So the example question is, why is it important to drink enough water? The way we would restate it as a statement is, it is important to drink enough water, period. And you're going to find out through the RACE strategy that writing a paragraph or even writing an essay is not that complicated, right? We're not asking for 10 paragraphs. Right now it'll only be one paragraph with 4 to 5 sentences, okay? So you'll find out that it's not hard. Look at this simple sentence. It is important to drink enough water, period. That is your introduction. Now the A stands for?
Answer all parts.
Yes, answer all parts of the prompt. Sometimes you'll have one question in the prompt. Sometimes you'll have 2 questions in the prompt. So the tip that they give us here is look for question marks. If there are 2 question marks, you probably have to answer 2 separate questions, right? So always be careful to see, is it just one question that it's asking, or is it 2 things that it's asking? So the A is answer all parts of the question. The C stands for cite evidence. We have been talking about citing evidence with Ms. Walls. So what is citing evidence? What does it mean when you cite? Yes.
I'm looking for clues in the paragraph.
Okay, specifically, Bella?
I want the take parts of the paragraph and put it in a sentence of quotes, and then have a period at the end of the last quote.
Right, both of you guys are correct. So you look into your text to get that information, and you get it directly from the text and put it in your paragraph. And you put quotation marks. And the way you want to do this is, here are some examples. According to the text, it says, and then quote marks, that piece of evidence that you found in the text. The author states that, and then you put whatever you find in your text. Or you can also use in the text, it says, right? You're giving credit to somebody else, whoever wrote the text. You're not saying, I'm writing this. So you're giving them credit. And then the E. What does the E stand for?
Explain your answers.
Uh-huh. And then conclude. So this is your last sentence. Okay, we're only gonna be working with 4 to 5 sentences. If you have 2 questions, it'll be 5 sentences. If you only have 1 question to answer, it'll be 4 sentences. So this is your last sentence. You're explaining, you're not restating everything you said. We're just explaining it in the end and just trying to conclude this paragraph. So you can say, all in all, this is why, and then whatever you want to add. Or you can say, in conclusion, these words, these transition words mean I'm ending this paragraph. You're letting the reader know this is where it ends. Or you can also say, overall, this is why I believe that, and then whatever you said in your paragraph. Another example is, these reasons explain how, right? So I will go ahead and pass out the information about the race strategy, so you can have it right in front of you. We will be working on a passage and paragraph together. You don't have to write that one down, you just follow me. And after that, I'll give you a separate text and paragraph so that you can work on it independently. Okay, so let's work on sea turtles together. Who would like to help me read sea turtles? Bella, go ahead.
Sea turtles are some of the oldest living creatures in our world. Unfortunately, almost all kinds of sea turtles are in danger. This means they are at risk of going extinct. Humans are the biggest threat to endangered animals. Sea turtles are killed for many reasons: their shells, meat, and skin. Sometimes they are also killed accidentally by fishermen. Water pollution in the ocean is another main cause of death of these beautiful animals. Poison chemicals are dumped into the ocean to destroy the turtles'
Habitats. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Bella. So we have the directions. Use this question below, answer this question below using race. What is one reason that sea turtles are endangered? How can we save them? How many questions do we have to answer in this prompt? Is it 1, 2, 3? 2, right? So the first one is, what is one reason that sea turtles are endangered, and what is the second question? Everybody read it out loud.
How can we save them?
Okay. So let's start with the R. What are we doing in the R? You can look at your papers for reference. Restate. So, how can I restate the question? What is an example? What do you think? Yes, Mona?
For snake goes land.
Right. How do I restate the question?
Sea turtles are in danger because.
Not yet. Not because, right? We're not given reasons
are
yet.
in danger.
Okay. Sea turtles. Let's see. Okay. So for the first sentence, I'm restating the question. That's all I'm doing. I'm not giving reasons. Sea turtles are endangered and then it has that second part. And how can we save them? So here we can add, sea turtles are endangered, and we can help save them. Save them. Did I give any reasons? Did I say why sea turtles are endangered? No, right? I just restated what the question says. But I put it as a statement, not as a question. So sea turtles are endangered and we can help save them. Okay, now we can say that we restated. Check mark. Now what does the A stand for? Answer, right? Answer all parts of the question. So, what is one reason that sea turtles are endangered? How can we answer that? And you guys can go back to your text. Always go back to your text. Yes, Bella?
They are killing sea turtles for skin.
Right, yes. So sea turtles, so we can say one reason sea turtles. This is where we begin answering and giving the reasons why. So one reason sea turtles are endangered is because they are killed for their skin, you said, right? Is because they are killed for their skin. Now, what does the second question ask? Remember, we're answering all parts of the question. What does the second question say? How can we save them? So what can we do to save turtles? Right. We can save turtles by stopping the pollution. Did we answer all parts of the question? Yes? Okay, can I check the A? Okay, so we're done with A. What is the C? What does the C stand for? Cite evidence. So what exactly, how can I start my sentence if I want to cite evidence? You can look at your papers, it has a couple examples. Marlene, which one would you like me to use in the C? Look at cite evidence. And it gives me 3 examples of how I can start my sentence. Which one do you want me to use? The author? States. Okay. Marlene wants to use the author states that. I'm going to put it on this side. So, let me see. Kristen, can you go back to the text and tell me something that the author states about how sea turtles are endangered? So Marlene wants to use, sorry, it's green. The author states that, and then I'll put a comma and quotation marks. What does the author say? Kristen, what do you want to reference? You can't see, it's kind of small, I know. So it says, here, sometimes they are also killed accidentally by fishermen, right? That's another way why they're becoming extinct. Is it okay if we use that? Okay, so we will use exactly what the text says because we are quoting, we are citing. So the author states that sometimes they are also killed accidentally by fishermen. Okay, and then remember to close your quotations because you got that directly from the text. So am I done with citing? Can I check mark the C?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're in the last sentence. What do I do in the last sentence, Lennon? Explain and get ready to conclude. So which conclusion would you like me to use? We can use all in all. We can use overall. In conclusion. Which one do you like? All in all, this is why. I'm running out of space. Let me put it here. So all in all, this is why. What? All in all, this is why. What? What are we talking about? What does it say there? Yep, all in all, this is why sea turtles are endangered. Endangered. So I can check mark the E. So those, in this one, I actually had 5 sentences, right? So I had the R, I restated. In the A, I wrote 2 sentences. Remember why? Why did I write 2 sentences when I was trying to explain? Do I have 1 question or 2? 2, right? So I did 2 sentences. I said 1 reason why the sea turtles are endangered, and I said how we can save them. Okay, so that was 2. So in total, that's 3. With the C, we went ahead, sorry, my writing, I know you can't really see it very well. But we were able to cite information directly from the text, right? That was our C. And then with our E, we concluded the paragraph saying, this is why sea turtles are endangered. Okay? So this is the way, Brace strategy is just a tool for us to be able to keep our writing organized, to be able to put our thoughts into paper in an orderly way where we're not writing tens of thousands of sentences. All we need is 4 to 5 sentences, okay? Let me go ahead and pass out this one. We will go ahead and read it together. Please write your name on the top. We're gonna read it together, and then you'll complete the paragraph part. Let me know if you have any questions. You can also look back at your race strategy paper because it does give you examples there. Those are your tools. Let's go ahead and read Fun with Baking Cookies. Leo, would you like to help me read the first few sentences?
The aroma of freshly baked cookies
Wafts.
wafts through the air, shimmering and
Any day.
turning any day into a delightful experience. Baking cookies is not just about measuring ingredients and going in. It's a fun and creative adventure education.
Okay. Let's have Erin, can you read next? Mixing the flour.
Mixing the flour, sugar, and butter together. Form dough balls and washing the truffles slowly creates the oven. It's a magical process. Wherever you put chocolate chip, oatmeal, or sugar cookies. Pour it in sprouted bread.
Okay. Let's have, who would like to read the last part? Would you like to read it? From cutting?
Cutting out fun shape to
Decorating?
decorating with
Colorful? Icing?
colorful icing. Each step is an
Opportunity?
for
Creativity?
sharing warm homemade cookies with loved ones is the sweetest
Reward?
reward for all.
Okay. So now your prompt says, use the race strategy to answer the following question using the checklist as you write. So our question is, how does the process of baking cookies become a fun and creative adventure? Are you answering, how many questions are you answering? How many? Just 1, correct? We only have 1 question mark. So how does the process of baking cookies become a fun and creative adventure? Okay, go ahead and begin writing your paragraph. You're gonna do it independently. If you do have questions, please ask me. But remember to use the R. Restate your question. How would we restate this question? It says, how does the process of baking cookies become a fun and creative adventure? Lennon, how would we restate that question? The question? For our first sentence, how would we restate? Perfect. I don't think you guys heard Lennon, but he said the process of baking cookies becomes a fun and creative adventure. Period. That is your first sentence. Okay, so I helped you out with your first one. Go ahead and write that down, and then continue working your way down through the race process. I'll give you some time to work on that. Let me know if you need help. Raise your hand. Remember to start with the, so look at your question. How does the process of baking cookies become a fun and creative process? So the way you restate it is by getting rid of this. So you don't write this, just write this. That's how you restate the question. Now remember, when you go to the A, we only have one question to answer. And always go back to the text. You don't have to make up what you're writing. You can go back to the text and get the information from there. So for receiving, we have about 5 minutes, okay? Just remember, it's 4 simple sentences. You don't have to write a whole essay, just 4 sentences. R, restate. A, answer the question. C, cite, get evidence from the text. And then E, explain, just finish off the paragraph with the concluding sentence. Only 4 sentences. Now, answer 9. So how is it fun and how is it creative when you bake it?
Then,
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it in a couple more minutes.
I haven't finished.
Yes, yes, please. Okay.
Can we get scissors, please?
Good job, you guys are doing really, really well. A couple more minutes. Just try your best, whatever you remember, whatever you can do from the word strategy, just try your best. Okay, 2 more minutes. Finish? Okay. You can get your folder and good job. Can you write your name, please? Now remember, this writing strategy you can use for your homework assignments, class assignments. You can even use it in state testing. Thank you. Okay, so what is it saying here? Creative attention. Mixing the sounds given by together from no bonds and watching them use one into golden treats and the other is a magical process. So you can write that. Baking cookies is a magical process. Yes. Okay, so what does the text say? It says that it brings families together, so you can write that as your reason. How are you doing? Good? Okay, we have 1 more minute, start to wrap it up. Right here. Here, bring families together. One more minute, let's start ending our paragraphs. But as you're writing, just remember that writing is really important in school, right? We use writing every single day. Our teachers are expecting us to write a lot. So we want to get used to writing. And one way that you can also practice at home is write a letter to your friends, write a letter to your family members. Write them an email. Thank you. And your name's at the top. That's a way to keep us practicing our writing and still having fun, right? Because we can communicate with each other by writing. So remember, when you go home, keep practicing your writing. It doesn't just end at school. You're going to be writing your entire lives. So you need to get used to the writing process. Okay, go ahead and write your names at the top, and I'll collect them. It's okay if you're not done, you tried your best. Just go ahead and write your names at the top, so that I can know whose paper belongs to who. Thank you. You guys did an awesome job. Awesome job. Thank you so much. Okay, that was everybody, right? Awesome job. Now repeat after me. I can use the Ray strategy in my writing. Okay, good job. You guys can take out your punch cards because we owe you multiple punches.